So Janet, what are some ways that we can lower visceral fat?
Well, first of all, um, if we look at some of the things that we've talked about on our podcast, we have to address all the lifestyle issues. And then we have to make sure that we are sleeping correctly, because if you're not sleeping, you're not healing, your body's in a state of inflammation. So, you know, late nights, not getting enough sleep repetitively it's a problem. It needs to be addressed. Diet needs to be addressed, exercise needs to be addressed. And then we need to make sure that we have the proper balance of hormones. And that starts very early in life. And for young women, we are throwing estrogen at them in forms of birth control pill, which I totally understand, but we need to address it very early in life, because by the time we get to the doctor's office and he says, "Oh, you're pre-diabetic," or "You have hypertension," or "You have cholesterol," we're behind the 8 ball. It's not like we can't correct things, but my whole point is it's preventable. So whether you are someone who's very thin but you have low muscle mass, there are things along the way that we can do in our whole ourselves before we get to a doctor to make sure that we are healthy. And I think that in itself is very important to me, because I'd rather you not be on anything if we can help it, if you are living healthy. But the long-term results, a lot of times we have to jump in there with hormone replacement. And so the first place would be to make sure that all of our hormones are balanced, and that includes insulin, that includes estradiol, that includes testosterone, progesterone, DHEA. What am I missing? Progesterone?
That's it for
Yeah.
the hormones. I mean,
Okay.
let's talk about other ways you can lower
Yep.
visceral fat other than hormones. Resistance training.
Right.
We've talked about it over and over again, and I cannot stress the importance of resistance training. What is resistance training? Well, it's just what it says it is. Lift weights. You lift something that's heavy, and I there's many different ways that you can do this. You can do it with dumbbells. You can do it with kettlebells. You can do it with barbells, or you can do it with resistance bands. I think resistance bands are a great tool because you can travel with them. You don't need a fancy gym. It still works the same way, and include it in just body weight. Resistance exercise, doing body weight squats, that is resistance exercise. Doing jumps, just doing body weight squats with a jump is resistance exercise. So, what does that help do? It helps to maintain and even grow lean body mass. And remember, as we age, it's more difficult to gain lean body mass.
Right.
So, in general, the more that you can pack on the earlier in life, the better, because lean body mass helps to promote calorie burn. It helps to support our structures. If you want to decrease injury, you will have strong muscles to protect your bones, to protect your joints, to protect your ligaments. Um, Also, resistance training is going to help to support um, decrease visceral fat. What are some other ways we can decrease visceral fat? Intense exercise, not walking. I'm not saying walking's not bad or is bad, but intense exercise is what really burns visceral fat very well. So interval training, whether it be sprinting and then walking, sprinting then walking. You know, so you sprint for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and you walk for 2 minutes. That is great way to exercise and stimulate burning of visceral fat. Um, and you can do many other different forms of intense training, whether it be, Tabata, whether it be HIIT training, whatever the best example is. We've got, it link in our comment on our video, and we can give you some ideas or some videos about interval training that might be appropriate to help burn visceral fat.
So start with something.
Yeah, that's it. Don't make it complicated.
Yeah.
We get that all the time. It's like, well, what should I start with?
Start
Well,
with
what are you doing
something.
now? You're doing nothing? Okay, just start walking 10 minutes a
Yeah.
day. That's it. And
Add to
schedule it.
Right.